Good time zone. It's me, DjDoubleT, here and existing with. I like how let's say with. I'm like I'm not playing any games today. I'm here with a regularly scheduled program, an hour late because I decided to take forever to eat and just vegetate. But yeah, I'm here for the day. I'm here to do my usual thing on Tuesday, getting some work done, and honestly, whatever may come my way. This is day 4 of streaming for charity, specifically for the end of May last week. I'm streaming for mental health awareness and specifically for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and try to do some good, and also just to be there where people need me. It's nothing big, but hey, every little bit helps, or whatever we can do in life. I think for me today, I need to do my therapy journal and then do some reading as per usual, and then yeah, I'll wait for anybody to come by to chat because I don't know, I'd exist here. I got my Dungeon and Dalgo shirt, and this is like some D&D stuff. So, I will probably play other music in my ear, just because I need to. Lo-fi's nice. It's good for when you need to focus, but if you start feeling sleepy, ooh, that's the end right then and there. Okay. Apparently my day list has changed to Weirdcore Other Kid Evening, whatever that playlist name. I am curious about it. Let me hear it. There are therapy shops for their help? Hi, Nari. How's it going? I feel like we're gonna talk about something that I'm gonna laugh about with you. That tomorrow we'll do it. But how are you, Inari? Have you been doing a lot of game grinding today? Also, I looked up the SSS game. I remember seeing it one time ago, and now that I see it again, I'm like, oh, that person. Aw. Just tired from work, tired in general. Fair. It could be Mercury's in retrograde, or Mercury's in the microwave, something like that, where everybody feels the same. I told myself that I was going to stream earlier today, but I played Wuwa, but had already done some Wuwa stuff. So apparently the red elite enemies, they actually revive after I think every week most likely. because I fought the Rose Bloom again. I fought the big guy that I was having trouble with the first time around, and then the car. I didn't fight the bear again though. I did some farming for today, but I think for now, Wuwa is gonna be played tomorrow because today I want to honestly focus on just one thing. Also, I think tomorrow my plan is once the update comes out for Honkai, we're gonna do some pulls, and then I'm gonna play some other games. Some Wuwa, and then later on the night we're gonna play a new game with Mari. Ooh, nice. I did the illusion thing. Did you know if you did the illusionary dungeon, I think, uh, that you can pull like 5 costs if you want to, like of your choice. Also, I've been refraining from doing any more pulls. I have like 30 premium orbs, and I'm thinking about, do I want to pull? Do I want to put there for Gion? Do I even need to? Should I save for Yinlin? Because Yinlin's Puppet Mastery looks really cool, but also like, I don't need any more characters. I'm like really in a good spot. Like, if you think about it, we have Rover, which is our first like 5 costs, right? Then we have Kalkaro, Encore, and then Lin Yang. That's 4 out of like how many 5 costs there are currently. And I'm only missing 2 of the 4 costs, so I'm in a happy spot of like pulls. Jian's really cool. I want to pull Tao Chi, I think, if that's her name. I forgot what it was, but she was in an illusionary dungeon, and like I learned about her moveset. Like, her moveset is really strong if you think about it. You can basically just hold the button and like auto counter. You could just sit there until you're hit one time, and you can continue countering as much as you want. Oh, why is that? I mean, I don't really care for any characters at the moment, I think. Like, we're in a good spot. Like, I'm happy and content. Oh, I see. Like, I wouldn't say I'm like really lucky or anything, but you know, pulling up the 5-star weapon somehow, pulling up like just people after like one pull, that was really nice. I see. So what does sub DPS mean? I know like, damn, for a second, does sub DPS mean like someone who boosts, like it's kind of like a support, but also still damage, or what does that mean? I think that's just something that I've never like known. Gotcha. So kind of like if you think about it, like in not Lethal Legends, League of Legends, you have like Senna. Senna is a character who is supposed to be support, but she's a support marksman. And some people play her as a marksman, so she kind of like functions as a damage support in her own right, but she's more of like a scaling kind of character. Okay, it's funny. In one ear, we got like some rock in my ear because of like the music that I want to listen to be productive, and then in this ear, I have like lo-fi, and so it's just like the duality of my mind. Is it because Verena is basically like one of the only supports currently, really? Like, technically, um, the other support is Baija, really. I'm thinking about it. I don't know about Alto, because the only character that I haven't touched yet is Alto, because I haven't seen him. Also, I learned that Encore, when she ults, she gets possessed, basically. I think it's by Cosmo. Like, she can no longer... I don't know if she's possessed, but like, that's how they described it in her abilities, but I read it wrong. Maybe I read it wrong. I'm actually really close to like data level 15, as I realized. But I'm trying to like enjoy the game as much as possible, so I'm like not trying to overdo it in playing. Like, I want to do the daily quests, but I don't want to overdo it. Also because like my PC likes to have some issues with the game every now and then. It was really funny yesterday when I was playing, right? Just like off stream, just for fun. The sound was only playing like the intro music to the screen and did not play any of the sounds in game. So I'm just all I'm here there is playing the game while just listening to like the startup page. That's it. It was such a weird feeling. Like, there's no sound cues to know about when to dodge, when the enemies are coming. You just gotta be all visual. You're like, gotta trust the process. But a boy like you, like a girl like me. Mm-hmm. Da da da. Ba da. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. I might try to. Let's see. Which are the 5 costs that I don't have yet? So I don't have Jian. I don't have. What's her face? Person we call Master. And Rurita. But I mean, if you think about it, that's not that bad. Like, if we only have 7, like, 5 costs right now, not having one is totally fine with me at the moment. But I'll think about it because I do have the orbs, right? So I'm like, do I want to actually pull for Kakaro? Or do I want to pull for Jian? Not Kakaro. Yinlin or Jian? Because I think Jian's a really cool character. We'll see. We'll see what I feel. And if I don't get something, I'll just cry. Internally. And maybe externally. There's your blue time. With my friend. Oop. Again. time again. That's true. I think I just want to collect all the five stars, but all the other 4 stars. Like, you know that I think about it? The one element we don't have is, it's not disco, but that one swirly symbol, whatever that element type is, confusion. We don't have a 5-star for that one. We have electricity, we have wind. I think we have another wind. I don't know what arena is. We have fire, we have ice. Unless I can't think about it properly. Yeah, Encore's fusion. Fire. I'm talking about like Donji and Taochi. Like their little like swirl. Havoc. There we go. That's what I mean. You know, if you think about it, I have a full fusion team. I just have Mortefi, Chisha, and Encore. We do? Who's the 5-star Havoc unit? Think about you and I. Think about even try to run it away, run it away. Gotcha. Do we unlock more 5-stars going through the storyline, or is it just more of like when they're released? Next thing you're gonna tell me Camellia is our Havoc unit because she's crazy. Sure. You know, Ling Yang is like... I was trying out Ling Yang's combo. Like, Ling Yang's actually kind of fun. I do think Gauntlet units are fun if we had like maybe some more. Because like once you ult, you can just like with an infinite floating combo. Just like punch, 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 punch. And if you hold it, he just flips upside down. And it's fun doing his little upside down flip. I don't know why I even try. I'm trying to stay, trying to stay. That's why I even try. I'm trying to do. Why is that? Maybe it's because I like Gauntlet units because of like Fire Emblem 3 houses. You know, like Balthus, Caspar, what's his face? Whatever his face name is. Gotcha. I think, to me, well, do you mean like impact, like actual impact? Because like their effects when it comes to their attacks are really cool. Like Wan Wu, I think. Like he throws his hat. I'm so sorry, but like the hatography makes me happy. But if you mean like the actual fact that like, not as just like, oof, like the hits don't hit, I guess I can understand that. Mm. You know, when we get like our weapons, I kind of think we should do more damage. But every time I see like 23, 23, I'm like, that's not as much damage as I would like it to be. I want it to be more. I want that bar to disappear. You know, I did that earlier too, but also I ran out of money. Some of the things you could do is like shop for it and go for side quests. There's like a lot of things where you can farm these materials. I have a feeling I know where this song is going. I have a feeling. Or maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Yep, no. I was right. I knew where it was gonna go. Da, 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 da. Oh yeah. I feel like when I joined Honkai, I feel like my money has never ended. In this game, it's like, you must do side quests. We have side quests for you to do. Do them. And I'm like, no. I do side quests when I want. I do the story when I want. I'm just more like exploring, if anything. What's in my upbeat mix, if I'm being honest? Oh, interesting. Too, but there's stuff that's locked for me exploring because I need the storyline. And I'm like, no, never. I want some like fun music in my ear right now. I'm not sure what I want. Way. Is it because you're struggling to find them? Oh. You know, there is a trick to know if they'll like for sure drop. Like if you walk up to them, at least when I play, right, I see like little essences or like soul bits or light coming out of them, so I know if it'll like fully drop. And also like you can actually like track specific ones that you want to find if you need to, unless you're talking about like farming for like the Overlord class, and that's a whole other species. Have you found any of like the special cosmetic ones, like that they say that they're minimal around? Because apparently there's like specific ones that have like nice cosmetics or looking different a little bit. Gotcha. Then that's probably one of the small reasons why. Eso. I see. I wish like the boss echoes or like energy wise in the game was a bit better, because I feel like we have so many things to use energy for, but it's like I feel like it takes a full day for it to like recharge. But then again, I guess Honkai has like the same thing with it. I know that for the data bank, I need to farm up some of the overlords because they're the ones missing in like my thing. But I might go search for some regular ones so I can unlock their rarities, because I'm like so close. But I should also like go through the storyline, because there's one overlord that I just can't have access to, and I'm like trying to find it, and I'm like, I would like some access. Can I get some access? Oof. I don't think it's the last overlord. It's just the ice overlord for me that I need to get to upgrade Ling Yang. I can't do it, so there's some story that I have to go through. That's what I know for sure. Yeah, I was looking for it in like the Tiger Jaw mine, but I couldn't find it. So like I was trying to go. I went into the Tiger like mine, trying to find an entrance, but no avail. Nobody. Okay. I'll have to look for it there at some point. Next you know, like, I do it off stream, and I come back, I'm like, I'm sorry, I couldn't find it. Nobody, know you do. Feeling like Scarface. Tell me like it's nobody. Magic, yeah. When I'm with you. Nobody like you do. I feel like when I sing on camera, like, I get really nervous. And like, you know what's funny? It's like, not funny, but something I saw today was about the casting choice for like the anniversary of some Lion King the musical like performance, and people were really mad about like nepo babies apparently, specifically because North West, the daughter of Kanye West and like Kim Kardashian, was chosen, and like the performance was bad. In short, bad. And like, cause a lot of people were angry because there were people like at the very top, like fighting for the role, and there's more people to be chosen, but the casting decided to choose North West, and like the performance was pitchy, and just it looked like she was lost with what she was doing, because I felt like a lot of people were leading her to what to do when it came to like the performance. And there's a lot of outrage because people are like, there are people who have tried way harder and are way more capable for this, and you chose that person because of like who their parent is within connections. And it's unfortunate, you know, that sometimes you could be the best thing in the world and get rejected because someone has a better in than you do. And the only thing you can do from there is just like know your worth and value and continuing doing what you're doing. But it's still such a slap to the face, you know? I wish it wasn't always like that. I wish it was like a lot easier for people who are like have all this talent and capability to just go somewhere, rather than because they're just a little bit different, a little bit not to the standard, or a little bit of something. And I commend people who are able to just like get up that ladder and tower and like continue to keep trying until they drop. I think that's something I wish I was a little bit better about in life, is like not like fear of rejection, but more of, I think I would like to be a little bit more willful, because I find myself easily discouraged a lot of the time, and then I go through like this whole tizzy of like, ew, not good enough, etc, 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 something, and then like at a certain point I'm like, I'm sick of it, time to continue on again. And like I would want it to be a little less of long of a process, you know? Like I am catching myself that this is a process of like, this is how I move on from things, but I would like it to be a little bit less strenuous and long, just so that I could actually just like improve in a better like amount of time. Or at least wear that not to wear that character, but to be the version of myself where F it, we fail. We just go in, we do it, whatever happens, happens, and then we move on. Like, I can only be that person for so long until I'm just like, I'm tired of it. Because, only because of like how I grew up as a person. For the longest time, I was living my life as a version of like whatever version of myself that needed to exist and be. And now that I'm in like a better place, I can be more of just myself. And because like I know what it's like to just be myself now and be me, I don't ever want to go back to a place where I have to conceal, because then I'm not living. I'm just living as a costume, a mask for so long. And I know that a lot of societies like we are built on like you have to fake it until you make it. And I'm like, yeah, to a degree, yes, but don't fake it for so long that you lose sight of who you are. Because then it's like, well, what now? And you have to like rediscover who you are as a person, and like I don't mind walking people through their journeys about you know, figuring it out, knowing what they need to know. But I'm not going back. I can't allow myself to do that. I know. It's unfortunate that I'm not like a person to be explosive when it comes to like my breaking points. It's happened once or twice, but most of the time my breaking point is more of like an implosion than an explosion. I like a lot of the people in my life, particularly family, of like where I'm heading to right now in life, they think that I'm okay. We're gonna open up a little bit, and if this is too much, let me know. I'll stop it. But growing up, I didn't have like the strongest relationship with my mother. My mother has a lot of issues when it comes to like everybody in life, and currently she's living in the past and very bitter, unfortunately. And a lot of my family thinks that once I become like super depressed and sad, that I'm going to start pointing fingers at everybody else for the problems that I like that I couldn't grow out of, in a sense. And that they owe me something. And the fact is, when they say that, it hurts. Because they always talk about, I've known you all my life, like, I know who you are as a person, like, you don't know yourself. Well, some say that I don't know myself. And I look at that and I think, how can you say that I don't know myself? I've lived with myself for so long. I know to a degree of like most things I want nowadays. But all of my life, no matter what you guys have done to me, what has happened, I don't hate you for it. I don't resent you. Now that I've sat down and walked through it, it makes me sad. And I'm learning how to like process the sadness and to like walk from it. And I also know that a lot of my bits of like sadness and things are just, where do I put it? They're I lost my train of thought. That's unfortunate. That's the word. Assumptions. Like, they make the assumption that that's what's gonna happen. And also, what I think, like, once I'm in, like, a better place, I think it's time. It's time to work with more found family. I may try to keep in contact, I may not. Only time can tell. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. A lot of things that I do, I think just stem, or at least I used to do, stem from not knowing my actual value in life and finding that good balance of like giving yourself. Like, you can share yourself, but don't give yourself until you have like the 1% of yourself left. And I probably have spoken about this before, but yeah. You know, that's the one time I think that I've talked a bit about my backstory without diving into more of my backstory. Because my backstory has always existed as, if I say one thing, in order to explain the next thing, I have to explain another part of it, and it becomes like this whole domino effect of like, here's all of this. Oh yeah. Self-doubt is not the best thing to deal with in life. Because you're always like questioning the next step of like what you're doing, how you're doing it, and it can be really debilitating because once you're in your head, one of the toughest prisons is like your own mind, because that is what tells you what you're limited to do. Something that I still struggle with, I think. Like, when I want to make music again, I gotta make sure, like, hey, my voice may not be the most beautiful thing in the world, right? But I can still make some good music with it. Also, I think growing up, when it came to like tests, the constant pressure of like taking tests and whatnot, I always thought, if I think I did a lot worse than I think I did, I usually get a better grade. But if I think I did it, I was like, I aced it, I'm good, I bombed it. Like, bombed it as in a good way. Then what's the word? Oh, then I actually didn't do well. I also think, I believe that there's nothing wrong with a little self-doubt. Like, it's like more like a quick small reality check. You know, you gotta find your like limits between before you go off to the deep end or way too much in another direction. And it's like, at a certain point, you're like, shut up. You ain't got nothing. You're not being helpful. Like, if you start having thoughts that don't get you anywhere to where you think you want to be, or for somewhere a little bit better, then I think it's time to be like, shush, 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 shush. Go to jail. Now. The mind prison that isn't your personal mind prison. You gotta also think about that, because everybody has some limitations of where their mind isn't the best. But then there's also the designated spot to like leave those things somewhere else. Don't lock them up in your subconscious, because then your subconscious becomes the dream realm, and that's a whole other species. It's interesting when people talk about their dreams to me, though. Not to bounce off topics or anything, but I dream a lot. I go on like full-blown adventures, or I'll have like this like emotional thing or this cool alternate dimension, and then I hear people like having nightmares. I don't get nightmares. Like, I don't like scary games. I don't like scary things, right? But if something scary happens to me in a dream, I'm like, yes, and like I've gone through zombie apocalypses. I've flown through the sky, traveled through different like weathers of like desert and cold. I've sat in like where I believed was in the afterlife. It was such a picturesque like moment. Just like a chair, a window. I've gone in the game of super hot. Like I was a secret agent. I got blown up. I woke up and I was like, how? All I had was like a really cool like secret agent lipstick gun. Like the lipstick itself, if you tilt it, it would just fire. Phenomenal weaponry. I think I remember one time when I was younger, I had somebody who was bullying me, basically. And then it was also like the zombie apocalypse. And I think at a certain point, I was like, you're not bullying anymore, katana, huh. Interesting. Maybe, Inari, you just have a Roman Empire somewhere. Next thing you know, your Roman Empire is just gacha games. I don't think I've ever had a liminal space. Like, now that I think about it, I still remember one dream very vividly. I wrote it down one time. I would listen to Take On Me every now and then, because like that's what my family listened to, and I remember that dream. It went into like this ombre of like that yellow tone old photo with like the black, and I was singing Take On Me with a band. Don't ask me why. I don't even want to know why, but that's what happened in that dream. It was a music video. I'm sure you could do it in RA. I did it. I did it, I think, with level 40 or 50 units, even though I feel like the bear was actually really easy. It made me level 120, but all you really have to do is just dodge it properly. Dodge, parry, and like switch out. Do your outro intro skills like every so often, and you'll win. It's so easy, actually. Well, I say so easy, but I failed a bunch of times. So, there's that. City of stars, are you shining just for me? How did I know it was that? Are you shining just for me? City of stars, are so much that I could see. Oh, every time this missing place. Finally come true. City of stars. It's just love, all that I seem to look for you. In these things, what is you? Find me these little lovely things. Those are the words, are the things. City of stars, are you shining just for me? City of stars, you're never shine. I still can't get over you. Nice, nice. What level are you now anyways, Inari? When it comes to like unit wise? Like what's your highest level unit or what's your max currently? Oh, nice. Hey, Inari. Oh dear. Oh god. Ew. I guess I have to worry about that at some point, like find actual good units. But I random question. When it comes to like your favorite creators, artists, whatever they may be, do you think about the whole thing about gatekeeping them a little bit? I'm not saying like gatekeeping, like actually keep them from people, but some people like their people to like be successful, but not be so big where they're really mainstream. And like, I want to hear your thoughts about that because, like, how do I describe this? I'm just thinking about it, I guess. Like, I guess that's kind of where I'm thinking about it because I'm thinking about, like, myself in retrospect. Like, how big do I want to be, right? How so? Can I ask how so? Like, how unhinged? Like, we talking about not showering unhinged? Unhinged as in, like, they over fangirl, or like, you know, they'll send like questionable things, etc., etc. Oh dear. Is that why I have never seen any of your friends, Inari, coming here? I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I kid. I would ask, is it actually for my safety? And because, you know, like, it's not that I'm easily overwhelmed, but more of like, I think I can't do a lot at once. Like, if people start bombarding me, I wouldn't cry. I would just be thrown off. I'd be like, ah, lots to talk about, lots to read. I can't read that fast. I'm illiterate. Hmm. Fair. One day they'll end up coming here, and then everything will be ruined. I mean, to be fair, there is a limit of like what I'll do, you know? Like, if people start making things unsafe, I have Mari to mute them, potentially. Or I just don't respond to it. Or I address it and say, I'm sorry, but no. Like, I know my limits. I don't mind talking about a lot of things because I'm pretty open, but for my own benefit, for my own well-being, we stop the brakes and not question it. One day, Anari, that day's tomorrow, and I'll be like, what's going on? And then you'll be like, I don't know them. The people are like, I know you, Anari, I know you. Like, oh my gosh, I know them. And I'll be like, Nari, do you know them? And you'll just be like, no. Some random stock. Something. Yes, online stalking. They know who you are, they know what you look like, they know your actual name, your government issued name. Juan Pedro, Manuel Tomas Gutierrez, Mendoza, Espinoza. Why is Millennium Parade spelled like that? Slowly, after all the love, now, I would ask, how does a calm person like you and Nari, or at least a pretty chill person what I've seen so far, have chaotic gremlin friends? But I'm like, no, that's how it works. Like, I say that as I speak about chaos from experience. Chaos is my friend, right? And she has been like a pretty solid rock. And I'm like, she's the most sane one out of us, living a pretty good life. And then there's me and everybody else around her. I'm like, nope, that's fair. Like, certain energies attract certain people. Like, very much opposites attract. So like, you live a calm life, you attract the crazies. You and if you're crazy, you attract more crazy usually. Hmm. Like, I feel like the most peaceful people attract the worst things. I'm not saying that I'm a whole dumpster fire, but I was a dumpster fire once. The bad kind. Still am chaotic, but not to the point of used to be. Also, not gonna lie, I do like how my hair's been fading out lately. But my goal is on the very last day of stream to actually re-dye it, or at least before it, because you know what month is coming up, and there's a certain color that I like to wear a little bit for that month. I feel like there's one thing that I wanted to add as channel point at some point, but I forgot what I wanted to add. I think we have to choose a choreography at some point, right? Yeah, 20k for the next choreography video. Well, you're the eye of the storm within the chaos, you know? It's like your own little... You're a hurricane. I don't know if that makes you feel better or worse, but you're a hurricane causing destruction wherever you go. Now, an important question, but have you seen some of my changes on Twitch or my YouTube channel? Because I've been really excited about this. My friend has been working on something for me for like a while, and for the longest time I actually didn't have like a background if I'm ever offline on Twitch or anything like that. And now I got like this really cool art, because it may not be the exact thing that I pictured and wanted, but I'm super happy about how it turned out. And like, I respect and like her art style for what it is. Like, I think we're finally getting some of the vibes right, is what I'm trying to say. At some point, when I have some more money, like for myself, I'll probably commission her to make like a PNG version of myself, just for some days where like this face does not market well. Well, it's not gonna be me myself, but you know, like a character version I want to build. Like, I do want to create like a VTuber version of my own person as a character. I'm not saying I'm gonna make a furry version, but I know I'm gonna have one with like little ears or stuff like that at some point. Um, we're gonna have a version for Sune, our residential deity god being that gets really annoyed about being here every now and then. Myself, and something else. Who knows? No, I won't say doggo DJ. Maybe if I decide to be a husky, sure. Husky, another fox version. I'm not sure what kind of like fuzzy version I'll be. Like, what is my animal? Otter? Seal? Penguin? We'll figure it out. Oh, and there's also probably gonna be a gender bent version. There has to be a gender bent version. But maybe that's when I get bigger, you know? Once I get bigger, and I also have like a job that I can actually help to fund this. Slash, one day I do hope that Twitch will be sustainable for me, and so I can be like happy with what I create, and then that I'm able to like pursue my own creations. I may not be able to be as obligated to not obligated to Twitch, but like I may not be on Twitch as often, right? But at least I'll be happy creating other things that I want to do, whether it is like making music, being a dork, falling off a cliff. Not actually. Let's scratch the last part. Falling off a cliff seems too extra for no apparent reason, and also I don't think I can handle falling off a cliff. I just die. Hey, it's called bungee jumping or paragliding, whatever you want to do, parachuting. Like, I do like being here, right? I like talking to people. I like, just hearing about everybody's days and all that stuff. But I still want to pursue that dream about making music and maybe working with other artists, just so that I could have a larger impact working with other people and like, you know. Okay. I really don't want to hear Nara, and you've been here for a while. I think I could tell you a little bit more about my backstory. The reason why like I'm even doing charity work right now, and something it's like last year I focused a lot about like mental health after post breakup and all these things, and something that I had been struggling with a lot was my mental health from depression and also the big old S word. The reason why I'm even streaming for charity for the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention is just like a resource to help other people, because that is something that's really large, something that I struggled with because I was sad and couldn't process these many things. And I think one of the saving things that helped me like continue to keep going was, well, one, friends, but the other thing, like, if you found family, but the second thing was music itself. Like, that helped me just to like channel some things and just keep me going for a bit. And I hope that one day I'll make some music that like not touches other people but resonates with them and helps them for whatever they're going through. On another note, let me like totally bounce to different topics. So apparently Mr. Beast is doing like a games thing, and people are welcome to apply. I think I might do it. Apparently the price is 5 mil. I really don't think I'll win it, but I want to try to apply and see if I can get on the show, just because I need to start living again a little bit. And if I end up disappearing for like a few months or for a little bit of time, it's probably because I got on it or something, right? It doesn't hurt to try. We'll see what happens. But I also wonder what kind of game show it would be, because I do have like something off of it's not like my mental bucket list or anything like that, but I want to be on an obstacle course. Like, I grew up watching like Wipeout, a random show called I Survived, a Japanese game show, like Who Done It, and like Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, and I want to be like on like something with like small trivia or like a full-on obstacle course, not ones that were like they're like the Iron Warrior thing. Like, I'm not buff enough for that any time of day, but I want to do it because it looks really fun, even if I might get punched in the face by a wall with this. So I think once this is all done, I'll try to sleep. I will try to sleep early, is the case. But before I go off, drop off a job application, apply for a job, and like finish some grocery shopping, I want to finish this application, make a channel trailer for this Twitch channel that they've been like, hey, make a channel trailer. And I'm like, I'll do it. And I haven't. But Anart, have you seen the new art yet? Or have you not been able to see it? Well, unfortunately YouTube it makes it different. So on TV it has like the full thing, but like the banner, the desktop version is part of it, and then like the mobile version only has like an even smaller part. And I don't know how I feel about it, but it's that. And but if you do want to see it, like let me know because I actually have it as a panel. Yeah, I know. It's kind of dumb, but here, I'll mail it. You won't be able to see me anymore, but it's actually I made it into our so we have our Be Right Back, right? But we also have the second version, which is now that. I am so happy with it, honestly. And my friend did a good job. Like that is like my character, like supposed to look original to me, like a hoodie, a sweater that I kind of enjoyed. Well, it's more of like a shirt currently, but I made it. I asked if she could make it to a sweater with like a beanbag. Some of the things that I like to do. Got some funny things like the noodle plant, which like plushies in the corner, and like, oh yeah, like we went through some like different iterations. She did like a sketch work for it, and then I was like, there's something that's missing. There's actually here. Let me go back to it real quick. So in my hand is actually the mask for Sune, as right there. We do have a little Kitsune in the corner. Like I wanted to make sure this room felt filled, but not like so filled that it was like cluttered. Like there's little bits and things that like I personally enjoy. Like we have our video games in the corner. We have like some random books. I think. Oh, hey, she actually did like the cover for What If It's Us. Aw. And like I got playing cards, tarot cards, because that was something that we used to do for the channel. Well, I used to do, but like I will do a tarot card reading. I think it was for like for a donation for like one episode. Cause like here, if you want to hear about some random tarot card reading, like hey, donate like a small amount and I'll do it. We got like our little plushies, and I asked like, hey, can you do like more of like 90s lo-fi art kind of? And we got like a little fairy lights, and I asked like for curtains because it used to be just like an empty window, but the window felt wrong. But yeah, it was just like a nice cozy thing. The other channel art that I have is the one made by a different friend of mine. I do enjoy it for what it is right now. I might ask him to like redo it in the future, just to like change it a little bit for a little bit more. But I am proud of her work for the one that made me the new thing. And you know, if this platform grows even more, I want to make sure that I help my friends along the way, you know, to get them more commissions. Well, that's also something about me is that if you become friends with me, basically, whatever your endeavors are in the future, or if like we work together, I always make sure to like, hey, if you need some help, I can try to get some references here, get something here for you. I like when it comes to like building connections and networking, I think I like to build more meaningful connections rather than hey, this is just business, because that's just not how I like building things. Because you know, a lot of things in our life are very much transactional, right? And I just don't want to feel like a time slot or just like a transactional bit. So I try to find like, hey, I'm working with you here. I want to like say that this is your art. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's one thing that was really tough because like you can only do so much, but at the end of the day, it's like, hey, it's up to you to like do it. Get yourself out there. Like I think something that is interesting growing up for me was like my family kind of like forced me to like, hey, speak up for myself and to do things for myself, be independent, right? A little bit here and there, but the way they did it was the best. And I like having my own voice, but I also think I don't mind voicing for people who don't have it as much. Because sometimes you really need that friend who just takes initiative and just drags you along. But like with consent, kind of. Well, not kind of, mostly. Well, when it comes to like, when I say consent for kind of, I mean like from people who really just need to get out there to do things to help them. But if it's like something that's something totally different, then yes, consent. But if it's like, hey, I'm trying to do this for you for better things, I'm sorry, but you're either gonna come along or we're gonna talk about it, or I'm going to butt in. And sometimes it does end up in a bad path because, you know, it's not for me in the end. So like, tread with caution with repercussions. Listen to the flowers say, the old king is dead, long live the king. May I have the key. That's to all falls on me. The powerful sands, now the others sands of sand. Now, can I, if you don't mind explaining, and if you're willing to, can I ask like, what was the crippling effect per se? Like, was it just like the friends shutting down like their abilities, or what's the reason behind it? I think, and like for me, like I haven't made music for 2-3 years now, so but I still want to do it, and I think the thing is just me doing it. That's my thing right now. Procrastination is key, which is not good. Procrastination is the thing that stops you from doing it. And I'm trying. I think something that has gotten me through a little bit more is like I've gotten more confident with my voice, and that's kind of happened because of. I'm not gonna say because of you guys, because of I can't. Well, it is because of you guys and because of people that I've met like online, hung out with. I see. Now, how do I answer the first parts, like toxicity and threats, right? That's something that therapy could be helpful for. Like trauma of any sort, if you're unable to get it through yourself and you've had people help you or and whatnot, I think that the best thing you can do is go to therapy for it. Honestly, figure out a solution to help you figure it out. And then when it comes to like your own musical skills and abilities, you know, not everybody can be born a prodigy, right? And if you let a lot of like what other people that you've demonized and personified within your own head debilitate you from even trying, I think that's something that should be reevaluated and like just try. Now, the worst you can do is try. It's not like you have to be perfect, phenomenal. Like that's what talking to other artists is about. You're like, or like finding your own niche. Like there are people who will enjoy your type of music no matter what. But there is something deemed about like good, decent, and bad music. For me, like what I deem as like not the best kind of music is just things that aren't settling for the ear, like things that don't match up. Hmm. I mean, you're only just trying to help, and I'm not saying this like for you or anything, but if that ever happens again, at least in my situation, I think about when friends ghost and disappear. Like, I've had struggles and troubles with it of like wanting to continue reaching out, and people just grow apart, and maybe it's not the best for you. That's also like a really unfortunate situation. Unfortunately, in our, it's one of those things where at the end of the day, it is their choice. You can, like, something that people need to know about in life is like, at the end of the day, you can restrict, you can try, well, you can't restrict, but you can try your best to protect, keep your friends safe, do whatever you can to like make sure they don't have to deal with the bad things in life, right? But that's the only thing, is that you can try, but at the end of the day, it's their choice. And it's unfortunate when people make bad choices and you're like, I told you so. And if you want to still maintain like a relationship with people who don't really listen or make bad stuff, that's fine. And the only thing you can do is support them through whatever they're going through. And it's taxing. I know for a fact. Because I say that because I've gone through many different friendships that have not lasted, have fallen apart. Because, like, not everybody's there to be a part of your life forever and ever. And it's unfortunate because I want everybody I meet to be there for part of my life for whatever reason, just because I think that they're important. And it saddens me when that can't be the case. But who's to say things don't change in the future? People drift apart, people get yanked together because gravity says gravity. Fate. Don't try now, I'm fighting. I'm keeping for you, keeping for two. La da da do do do. Down down. What's funny is that whenever you guys have me do it, like, I'm not thinking about it, like sing a line, or like instead of talking, singing, right? Sing mode. I find it funny because I can sing. I literally can. But when I'm put on the spot and are trying to find like how to sing it, for some reason I just can't. Like I just I just can't. And it's so random. But it does bother me a little bit inside. It's one of those things like, without a doubt, you're capable. You're able to do these things. And then what happens? It could also be the fact that I'm still a little bit camera shy here and there. Keep it all for you to see. I guess so. A little bit on the spot. You know, one thing is that I don't think I've changed the way I speak, per se. But I think because of like all the growth that I had to do last year has changed the way I speak a little bit. And also, I think the effect of lo-fi in my ear, it makes me talk in more of a calming sense, which I find funny. Like, I don't mean to. I don't mean to talk slowly or softer. It just happens. Because we all know what happens when I play horror games. Like, I feel like when I play horror games, that's more of how I sound naturally. Depends. Do you want to describe this something? I feel like you're trying to say something about that something. Hmm. Why is that? Why won't you elaborate? Me casually just putting Inari in the spot. Like, tell me, why won't you? Where'd all the time go? Denied. There are no laws here. But there are no laws in the safe space. I'm kidding. Imagine if I said that. That'd be wild. No, you weren't, Nari. What are you talking about? There's only one time you've been clipped. Technically two. We counted about that one time I was talking to you while I was doing adventure impulse, but that's a whole other thing. The second time was that one Minecraft time where you're like, oh my god, he said my name. That's the only other time. And plus, I'm not an evil streamer. I'm trying to like search through my databanks. Yeah, I'm not an evil streamer. Yeah, no. If anything, I feel like everyone's evil to me. Well, not evil, but devious to me. For example, Mari. Mari is not here to defend herself, but Mari murdering me with a shovel. Or shocking me with a shock stick in content warning. Or or like this goes on with Mari. Yeah, they happen pretty often. This is what happens when you let people outside of the basement. That doesn't exist. Well, and I feel like there's more lore that keeps on getting added into this basement. Apparently, you're moving in as well. I think that's what Nappy said. So we got Mari and Nappy, and if you're moving in, I guess you're there for some reason. We got a whole room filled with ladybugs. Oh, hi Zen. I was wondering who joined. Zen, there. I keep saying this. No one's in the basement. No one's in the basement. I live in a state where there are literally no basements. There's no reason to have basements. We don't get tornadoes here. You know, I really wish this was. You know what? I mean, I prefer not to have my channel lore as people are in my basement. But I mean, I guess if there were a basement, because I am scared of basements, it's nice to have people there that won't destroy me, you know, or like possess me. We're good. I guess I could live with that. Random fact. But I wonder like what my channel lore is gonna end up being. You know, Anari, something really random, but I saw on Instagram there's apparently a school for Genshin Impact. Not even Genshin Impact. Wait. Yeah. Yeah, so for Genshin, there's like literally a school. Like, if you fail your final, you have to help grind for materials with other people and something something. Like, and there's like this whole like in-game currency scholar to give you 5,000. It was interesting. How are you, Zen, by the way? Also, Honori, how would I lure you with free Stellar Jades when I literally don't have the money to spend on that? I may hoard my stellar jades, but I don't have that many. I only have, after yesterday, the fact that you had me spend it on like a 10 pull for no apparent reason, for the fun of it. I have like 12k left for Boot Hill, which I probably won't spend all of. I'll just spend some. Ah, feigning ignorance, I see. Okay, I'm alright. How do I describe it? Yeah, I'm pretty much decent. Like, I don't feel well, but kind of just excited for the next few days in its own right. Trying to make some more changes, doing like, some like life choices, so we'll see how that goes. Trying to apply for a game show for no apparent reason. Is that actually your like alt account, or is it just like it's just a name you came up with the spot? Nari. What else? I think I'm excited to play some more Woo-Wah tomorrow, like Withering Waves. We're gonna play a game called Skirt Ritual tomorrow. Like, Mari finally has internet again. That happened like today, but we're gonna play after her work, so tomorrow's schedule is gonna be a little shifted around. Actually, I think the first thing we'll do is Honkai Star Rail. Honkai Star Rail, then do an episode of our BL novel of our dating sim. If anybody wants to watch a dating sim, we are doing the episode 16 of Hard to Make a Romantic Cartoon. After that is Wuthering Waves. And then Skirt Ritual, because it was on sale, and like, I enjoy playing like shooters. Well, I don't enjoy playing shooters really. I mean, I don't mind playing COD. I will camp in a corner with machine gun, place a bunch of traps, and wait for you to come to me, and then you'll be done. But besides the point. Yeah, the game show that I want to try to apply for is apparently Mr. Beast is doing one, and I say like, why not? There are no rats. Why is this basement getting by the day? Someone needs to like record this lore that it keeps increasing. I have better living conditions than that. At least I hope so. Gosh. Stay away too long, don't go to bed. I'll make a cup of coffee for your head. I'll make a cup now out of it. Don't I'll make a cup of coffee. Do it like you like. I'll make a cup of coffee. I'll make it with some cream and some ice. Don't know how long I might stay for. Don't you come back? I like it with all so much of love. Make me feel love. It makes me feel alive. A cup of coffee, I'll make a cup of coffee. Think about it. With the right amount of sugar and spice. I hope you like it. A little of coffee. Alright, so I finished editing that stuff. D&D reading. I missed last week. Wanna do some D&D stuff. I think one day when I finish reading the DM book and hopefully I get my friend's permission, I would love to stream a D&D campaign as like not like a first time DM, but like as a new kind of DM. That'd be really fun because I want to get back to D&D stuff or maybe become a player again. Even if I'm like a really bad player, if I'm being honest. I'm like way too chaotic. Why is this so bright? Right? There's no dark version of this. My eyes. Well, if I ever go. Well, were you playing with your gremlin friends, Anari? Because I do have some friends who would like to be DMs. Like, they have been. But, like, I feel like as a DM, I want to continue doing my own homebrew kind of situation. Because I have a world that's not fully created, but being, like, made somewhat. And I've learned from a really harsh group that kind of traumatized me from being like a DM for a bit that no DM not BM, no, not basement master, dungeon master is the word for it for D&D. Understandable. Well, I won't talk about my concept because if I ever do stream it, I would like it to be a surprise for you guys. I haven't talked about it really, I think. Or I might have talked about it in the past before I met you, Zen, and also Inari. Before I met you guys both, I had some other things. So, I would like it to be a surprise, but it's a really fun concept. I'm combining like a lot of stuff from D&D, and also some references from things that I like. I think I need to also become a better storyteller a little bit. Like, I have these strong concepts and ideas, but the way I convey them isn't the best. But I think that now that I'm reading like the Dungeon Master Guide, I understand a bit more about atmosphere and all that stuff. Was it because they kept on interrupting? Was it because like they didn't know what they were doing? Like, what was the situation between that? Because there are some players who are just like oblivious. Me. You know, that sounds like a really funny story, but also very chaotic to deal with. The thing about being a DM is really like improv. You know, it's a lot of yes and, but there's also like a balance to like if you want to keep your world. One second. Absolutely not. Not at my house. Not for you guys. Alright, sorry. Don't mind me casually committing insecticide. No, not a rat. I've just been having like a bug problem that's been. I'm trying to keep control of it and eliminate them, but they keep spawning. I think it has to do with like some kind of crack somewhere. But on the bright side, I feel like it's also helped me with just like dealing with bugs in general. Like, I mean, growing up, like I grew up in a house in a place where we had like cockroaches. They were like that big, this thick, and like, gosh, that's scary. And the funny thing is that I knew where they were coming from. It's a weird spot. They came from like outside, right? But there's also like a pipe that was going into like a cupboard, and apparently like it was just like a weird circle that exposed it to like the water heater, and like they would crawl through there, and so like it's just a weird thing. But I remember one day I was like complaining to my mom about it, like, okay, we're gonna tape this. We're gonna tape over that, so if anything wants to come through, they'll have to get through tape. We have nothing to really fill it with, so. Yeah. Oh, the place used to live before that, it was also like a falling down place. The ants crawled through like the smallest cracks, and they were so annoying. Like, I bought caulk and I caulked that wall. I blocked off all that stuff so they could never get in. I was like, absolutely not in my household. No. I think certain bugs are really cool, just not around me. That's it. I like to admire them in like their own distance in their own world, but if they're within my domain and bothering me ever so slightly, well, once I steal myself and my character decides to be not my version of myself but destruction incarnate, then then you know, woo. The Dungeons and Doggos is, so it's actually like a T-shirt that I thought was cute because we have Dungeons and Dragons, right? But Dungeons and Doggos is just really to look really cute. And also I wore this because specifically because I am reading the DM Master Guide. What? Do you have a problem with it, Inari? And there might be like a dungeon quest where there's dogs, because currently there is a podcast called Dungeons and Daddies, where it's a bunch of dads who are trying to get their sons who've been captured, basically. And what is Cat Quest? Oh no. I kind of hate that, the fact that, like, you know, the games, they'll have, like, oh yeah, it's a certain type, and then it gives you a buff that isn't part of that type. Like, for example, within Honkai Star Rail, you know, I mean, like, the orb is all special. If it's, then it's like, it's physical when you want to put on a character that is imaginary damage. That kind of bothers you because you can't, like, it adds another thing of, like, RNG into it. That is true. Are you just getting really unlucky currently? I do wonder what the difference with, like, what does havoc damage really do? Is it more of just like a constant debuff kind of thing? Oh no no, I just mean like in general, like the havoc element, you know? Not like the buff for it and stuff like that. Cause like when you hear about different elements, right? I think about just like what effect they might have a lot. Like electricity might be a lot more stunning, while havoc could be more of like confusion or chaos in a sense. I am curious though for how far within waves can go for leveling, because you know it requires different levels to reach like certain things for the upgrades of the skills. And I'm curious about what happens after you upgrade the basic seal, like what's after that and that thereafter. Make psychic damage. Got it. But is there like a counter to Havoc? Because for me, I think Spectro is like light. We got wind, we got the ice, we got fusion, which is fire, with electricity. But why is Havoc like the one it's mental, like out of the blue? Because maybe Havoc is like the counter to Spectro, like light and dark, but Havoc is pink, so I don't think of it as like dark. Hmm. See, every time I see like the purple rock, I really don't think of it as lightning. I think of it like as a darkness factor, but it's not. Like the counter to Spectro. Do you think in the future they might add like a wind version of that rock, a spiky rock, and a havoc version of it? When I see like a pink purple rock floating around. They do? I don't think I've seen the havoc rock. Is it one of the special enemies or just like one of the common ones? Interesting. Maybe I've seen it, maybe I haven't. I actually didn't like look at their names for the elements. What are they called?
What if Wuthering Waves ends up adding another class at some point, like elemental class or something? Honestly, it'd be nice if another game added like, you know how your characters have a class, right? Of like element, but then they have like a subclass element too, like a specific one. Oh, that'd be so cool, but kind of extra and probably annoying. But I think that'd be really cool. Why do you say the most unluckiest? Is because you're just not getting what you want? Hmm. Aw. Now, what do you mean really good? Do you mean like it was actually gold, or what kind of color was it? Aw. Did you sell it, or is it still? Do you still have it? Do you have any good fusion units you can give it to? Gosh. Of course, of course. I still need to upgrade. I need to upgrade a lot of my my guys, but I want to get more 5-star ones before I start upgrading them because I don't want to like waste it, you know? And because money just disappears quite easily. Oh dear. Did we wait until the next day to respawn? Are you gonna farm the green birds instead? I'm going through like the D&D section right now. There are so many planes of dimensions that I can make this world into. And I like how they talk about starting with small, and I'm just like, so much to go to. I'm not even in part 2 yet. How far was part 2? Part 2 is like page 68, I think. Master Adventures. Okay, so this is really about world building section. At some point, I need to sit down and actually think about this world again. Probably skip through all the extra like item stuff, so I'm actually gonna read through that part. Well, once I get 68, I'm pretty much like a fifth of the way going through it. I mean, in our when it comes to like this D&D campaign, I don't know if I want to actually like build digital assets for it so people can move around. Maybe just keep it more of like talking about it, but I think I might have to just because it'd be easier for references. Thing is, I don't want to create like maps for it though, because I'm not gonna be lazy, but I know it's gonna require a little bit more work and effort, which I should probably try to learn how to do at some point. I am like I got the concepts around. I got like these really cool gods. I got like different things. I just hope that like all this comes together, and I'm like really excited once I can like talk to the potential people who are gonna join this campaign. I know Chaos will be for sure a part of it. I want to have maximum of 4 players, and I hope that time works out well enough. Yeah, there's luckily like free map resources to use. I just don't want them all to be tacky. I might just draw like some really cheap one to be like, here, put a map grid in there, we're good. Okay. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to D&D campaigns, it gets really tough when your characters are like chaotic, but I think it's also where it's kind of your job as the DM to like allow your character like your character but allow your players freedom. However, there are things in place to reel them back in to like not be so chaotic. Like you got to make sure that hey, you guys can do these actions, but there are consequences, whether they are good or bad. To be fair, I mean, at a certain point, you know, if you get angry enough, you could just be like one of those DMs who are actively just trying to antagonize the players out of kind of retribution. Understandable. Have you ever heard about the Zamboni story? So, do you know what a Zamboni is? First of all. No, sorry, not a Zamboni. So Zambonis, for quick thing, is like the thing that drives over the ice to like. Sorry, it's the gazebo story, I think. Gazebo story. Have you heard of the gazebo story? And if you haven't, all right, well, it's a it's the true story. So the gazebo story is a campaign where people didn't know what a gazebo was. A gazebo, you know, like the area is like the overhang and stuff. So people started to fight the the gazebo because they didn't know what it was. They thought it was a monster, and things kept on happening. And I believe basically, this just the story was that they failed. They lost to the gazebo. It was not a monster, but they lost to it. And I think there is like a certain campaign later on where they actually created the gazebo into a monster, but it was a really funny thing because they tried for so long to fight a gazebo. Yep. I'm literally going through sections because I kind of understand them well enough as it is. Because I know I'm not going to fully use them if I ever need to. I know that way they exist now at least. So I'm like going through them like, okay. What about no? I literally went through like, here are some planes, here are the astral planes, here are the outer planes, inner planes. Oh gosh, there's more and more planes. Sorry, astral plane, ethereal plane. This is all some important stuff that I should probably reference. I mean, the planes are easy to understand in RA, but there's just a lot of them. And I'm like thinking about, do I want to incorporate them? How will I incorporate them? So just more of like planning. I won't have to deal with this at any point immediately, but I need to make sure that they exist. I would love just to be stuck here by your side. Anybody else? And what's this overdash event? Oh go. It sounds like an event where you're supposed to dash a lot, basically. Oh, to wait up to Amsterdam. Like, we're talking about. Wait. When you say pools, do you mean for premium orbs, or do you mean like regular orbs? Do you mean all of them together? Do you mean the ones you can also buy with like the crystals, whatever they're called in this currency in this game? Okay, gotcha. I have, I think, 30 of those special ones, and then I'm currently like, I think I have 6 for the regular orbs, and I'm not sure how many I can buy. Make it better if you hold out. Oh, lose out and move on. Well, when does Yinlin come again? Like, how many days? Like, I feel like the GN banner is like almost done already. Yeah, I feel like it's already over for some reason. And literally, like, in a couple more hours, excuse me, we got the banner for Bushwan and Bootleg. Not Bootleg. Boot Hill. I keep calling him Bootleg because I keep forgetting it's Boot Hill. And it's really funny, honestly. Who's first best boy, Inari? Well, Inari, you can also tune in tomorrow. You can tune in tomorrow and see if I pull him, because you know that I plan to pull for Boot Hill, I think. See what I think. Like, I'll play for a little bit of, like, Honkai, specifically just to do the daily quests and grind for, like, the element stuff, but I don't think I'll do any storyline stuff tomorrow. Because I want to continue playing some more Woo-Wah. Will you? Because the plan... Well, you might be busy. I think you'll be doing work at that time. Because they'll... If things go correctly, I'll be streaming, like, in the morning, well, in the afternoon, like around maybe 1 p.m. And then first things first is 1 p.m. my time, whatever that may be, 1 p.m. Pacific time. That's the plan. I will be doing the love game first, the dating sim, then Honkai, then Withering Waves, then you know, the other game. Because normally we do that game early, well, later on in the night, but because I think how time's gonna work out, I think that's how it's gonna be the plan. Okay. Well, also, Naria, shouldn't you be getting some sleep at this point? Because you do have work, right? It is late. Like, I appreciate you being around, but I know you have trouble sleeping. Hi, certified boogeyman. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'm half, maybe I'm not. Aw. Oh, fun there. At least I'll be warm. Where I'll be, you know? And that's totally fine. At least I'll be in a layer where it's nice and... I'll have other people around at least. But I do hope you're having fun in whatever layer you're at, or honestly just wherever you are. Well, that's also Subi Inari if they are, you know, a lordly person.
You know, technically, if you think about it, Nari, being half gay, so does that mean half of me is down there? Like, do I get to traverse the layers? If you think about it, cause that'd be kind of fun. Like, oh yeah, I can visit the people up there or down there. Honestly, I prefer to be in limbo. I know. No, no. Instead of being a voyager, you know what I can be? I get to be a traveler. Hawkeye Star Rail Afterlife. Why be on a boat when I can have Pom Pom drive the train? Like maintaining a boat. Like, thanks, I guess, but I don't need to. Why do you currently not need any sleep? Do you not have anything later on, or what's the reason behind that? Or did you already like sleep enough? Like, are you more of those people who sleep a little bit, function for a while, sleep another little bit, function for a while again? I see. No, I haven't done anything about that yet. I think that's something that'll be done in time. Like, I have my own Discord server, but that's more of like for me and my private games and stuff like that. Like, my own section. I think one day, if I'll figure it out, I might ask like, a friend to be a person for it or help me with it. Because I know she knows them a lot better than I can, so we'll see. Also, Inari, I blocked that person. I was just like, report, block, move on. Also, I find it really funny to like to ask, are you gay? When literally my one of the tags I have is LGBTQ plus. Like, great, you can't read, but alright.
You know what? Hateful people need to learn how to read. That's it. And maybe think for themselves. That too. Alright, we're on to part 2, creating adventures. But on that chapter there, because it's a healthy stopping point, and I kind of went through like 26 pages, so that's like really good progress. More of like skimming through it because I think that's some of the knowledge that I don't really need to like really hyperfixate on at the moment. But did the DM stuff, and I think this is a good stopping point. I've gotten some things I need to get done for today. And also just like there's always a good thing to know when to stop and when it's trying to get ready for the next day. Because I do plan to still get up a little bit after this. I think maybe I'll try to get 6 hours of sleep and then finish filling out that paperwork, finding the paperwork I need for my job application, and going to for that, and then getting some groceries, coming back home, and preparing. Maybe I'll get fast food, maybe I'll go out. I'll be having more French fry cravings again. I keep having French fry wants consistently, and that's something I need to stop sometimes, but I can't because fries, carbs, crispiness. We're making some chips. All right, I think we're falling down to the food slope. Which friend? The same friend you were talking about? Are they okay? What's happening? Before I run away. Or if you want to talk about it. Midnight? Is it midnight their time? Or like, are you talking about like the witching hour? Like, how late are they staying up? Have they drank water? Have they eaten? Like, let's get those basic needs taken care of first before we start like letting those thoughts. Well, like we gotta cross those basic needs first. Okay, have they slept? Like, I need to make sure, are these basic needs covered? Have you slept? Because, you know, if you don't sleep and you're probably doing unhealthy things, you become way more susceptible to negative trains of thought from my own experiences, like what I understand. And so, like, be there for them, right? Maybe not for too long, because, you know, be there as long as you need to be or want to be. But at a certain point, you also need to tell them you need to get some rest. Because sometimes, just those thoughts, right? They only are there because you haven't taken care of yourself. And then those thoughts aren't as big of a problem once you like wake up a little bit more refreshed. And you can probably think about it again at a better time of light. Or darkness, whatever you'd like. Whatever you like to function within the time-space continuum.
But Nari, do you need for anything else? Because I am actually about to wrap up the stream. But I'll postpone it a little bit longer if you need me. I mean, if you can't afford a therapist, or a psychiatrist, or whatever you might need, the best thing you can do is be a friend. Alright, well, without further ado, thank you those who came by for tonight, thank you Nari, and Zenmushi, and for everybody else who stopped by. You know, I appreciate it no matter what it may be. And if you see this on YouTube, thanks for watching. And if you want to see me live or have a place just to exist or talk about something random, feel free to come to Twitch. I'll be here existing on Tuesdays most of the time, unless something else hits in life. But for now, DjDoubleT out and about, and deuces. Have